Judy from Witchpeace Craft. Welcome to my channel. Today's video, well, I have to take something out. It's about what's in my bag. Yes, the little projects and whips I have finished during July. They don't really go with anything in particular, but I put them in a bag so I don't lose them, and we can talk about them and I'll share them with you. I'm holding one. It's too big to go in the bag. So we'll start off with Luck of the Draw 11, hosted by Mama Swift. It came to an end and I finally finished my throw blanket that I was making for Luck of the Draw 11. So basically it goes for 10 weeks. You pick 5 colours and a base colour. And that was my card. But that was my base colour. I picked a spare colour in case I needed it, which I'm glad I did, because my Luck of the Draw is finished. Ta-da! And I probably didn't pick the best pattern for a Luck of the Draw. I decided I'd try a log cabin throw. I've never made one before. I followed a tutorial by Gumleaf Crochet Jill. Gumleaf Crochet Jill. I'll try and pronounce that properly. I may have got lost a bit along the way, but I think it looks okay. It turned out really well. So the way I did it was, when Mama Swift picked a colour, say for example, she picked, what was that? Number 5, which is Sun Gold. I would do Sun Gold and then I would go around and I would either use my base colour, my spare colour, or one of my other colours and finish it off. So the blanket has 10 rounds for 10 weeks. And I did a border, which is just 3 rows of single crochet in my base colour. And I finished it. Ta-da! There'll be a picture at the end so you can check it out. I'm actually keeping this one for home. I'm not giving this to charity because it's the colours I like and have in my decor around the house. Look at that. Isn't it great? I really like it. Also, it's been quite cool here. It's all about lunchtime. It was really quite cold. It's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon now. Sun's been out for a while and it's warming up, but still cold for us in the tropics. And yes, I've been using a lot of throws around the house at night to keep warm, including Saxon, who, our dog, was cold in his bed, and I gave him one of my little blankets I'd made. And he snuggles up to it. And when he moves from room to room, he takes it with him because he doesn't want to lay on the cold tiles and there might not be enough mats around for him. So yes, I'm keeping this one, probably because the one he's got has reduced my stock of on-hand throws for when we need them. Luck of the Draw 12 is about to start on August the 7th. I think it's August the 3rd, and that's why I wanted to get it finished in time, because I plan to do Luck of the Draw 12. I really enjoy it. I make throws and blankets for charity and it's a great way to do it. It inspires me to keep going, come up with a different pattern and use my yarn stash. This was all made with Spotlight Marvel 8-ply, which I find is great for charity blankets. 100% acrylic, which they have to be. And it works up well. I used a much bigger hook on that than I would normally. I used a 4.5mm crochet hook. So Luck of the Draw 12, I've picked my yarn from my yarn stock, but I haven't picked my colours. Here it is. Ta-da! This is, and I'll take one out, it'll be a bit noisy, yarn I bought in the UK last year. There's quite a bit there. They're 50-gram balls. It's called Knit Craft by Hobbycraft Everyday DK. It's lovely and soft. And I'm going to use this. I probably will pick the colours when I decide what I'm going to do, because I haven't decided on a pattern. But because they're 50-gram balls, I'm going to pick colours where I've got 2 of them. And this Sun Gold, as it's called, colour, I have quite a few of those, so that probably will be my base colour. Who knows? I'll get back to you when Luck of the Draw 12 starts with Mama Swift. It's perfect for me. Guys, if you have any ideas on a blanket for a DK or 3-weight or 8-ply yarn let me know in the comments below. I have one in mind. I've never made it before, but it's not sort of setting me on fire with inspiration. So any suggestions? I have made quite a few, but hopefully someone will come up with something and go, oh, I might try that. I quite like that. Anyway, I have to do up my card and pick my colours ready for Luck of the Draw 12. If you want to join in just for the fun of it, or you want to use some yarn stash, or you want to donate something to charity, check out Mama Swift's channel. I think it's August the 7th. It's coming out for Luck of the Draw 12. So then, what did I make during July? I keep selling beanies in my Etsy shop. I sold one early July. I haven't sold anything since. I think the weather's starting to warm up. And I thought, well, I'll make some more beanies. I hadn't done Bod Hatapalooza for a while, but I decided I'd make a beanie for my Etsy shop, a knitted beanie. It's already in there and up. I tend to sell a lot of slouch or mini slouch, depending on what people want. And I decided I'd make this one. Now, this is Peyton's Totem yarn my boss gave me that's giving away knitting. And it's a pure wool. The thing about it was there was about 3 50-gram balls. And the one ball I started with, I got to about there in the rib, and the rest of the ball was all frayed and split. It had never been used before, but I think it's quite vintage yarn, so to speak. It's been around a bit. The other 2 balls were great because I made a beanie. It's a creamy colour with a latte fleck. The pattern, well, it's adapted from several patterns that I have made just to vary it up. So I have different patterns in my Etsy shop. But I made that and I put it for sale in my Etsy shop. Bod Hatapalooza, well, I wait to see what the hat is that's picked. And I don't always find the actual tutorial picked useful for me, so I don't make them. But this one came out, and this is really useful in the sense that I can give it to a charity that accepts wool, because this does have wool in it, or I can sell it on my market store with my cheap beanies and donate the money to charity. So this is Lime Brown's Woolies toner wool that was on sale here a few years ago, and they've discontinued it now. It's sort of red and changes, like fades in and out of red. This Bag O' Day beanie is called, I'm going to need my glasses, Supersonic. Really easy to make up. I made it up in an hour. Now, I think she uses a heavier yarn than I did. This is a 5 weight. I think she uses a 6 weight and a much bigger crochet hook than I did. I used a 4.5mm crochet hook for this, and I think it turned out well. It's a good size, and yes, I'll either donate it to a charity down south who doesn't mind having wool content, or I'll sell it really cheap. It's wool from my yarn stash that's been around for quite a while, and it's nice to use up most of it, the skein, and move it on. So this week's Bod Hatapalooza came out and I quite liked it, and it is called Neurotic Obsession. Ta-da! I had to put it on the mail head because I made it quite big. So it's got like a dimensional look. I made it in Red Heart Super Saver, and I used a 4.5mm crochet hook. I did have to frog a few times because I would lose my way, but that was my fault because I thought it would be easier and mindless than it really is. Look, it turned out really well. I'm glad it's a bit bigger, and it's 100% acrylic, so I can donate this to the local charity. And sometimes it's nice to have a slightly bigger hat. It's actually had to go on the mail head to fit. I did enjoy it, and I do like the way it looks. Do you? Sorry, we have some background noise. I then made beanie number 4. Don't ask me why I've been obsessed with beanies other than I can sell them. If you remember, if you've been with me for a while, I did Pride projects. If you haven't, there'll be a link somewhere up top here, and you can check out the video on all the projects I made for Pride Month. And I used Marvel 8 ply, and I had some scraps left over. Now, at my markets, when I do them, I get asked for some different things, and I've been asked for a child's pride beanie, and I thought with the scraps I'll make one. So it's a V-stitch beanie that's a bit slouchy for a child that I made with the leftover scraps. And believe me, there's very little left over now. They're mainly in a bag to stuff things. But I made a child's pride beanie that'll go on sale in my charity beanie box. I think I sell the kids ones for $5 and the adult ones for $10 or $15, depending on whether they have wool. And I sell a few because people here, even though it's the tropics, go to cold places, go camping where it can be quite cold at night. So I do sell a few, and the fact that I sell them at a reasonable price pleases people, and it's a way of me using up old stock or scraps and still making a bit of money for charity. So 4 beanies during the month of July. I have to stop making beanies. I then, you know, if you've been with me, I've been trying plushie yarns and trying to improve my skills with plushies. And a little while back, I played Mad Scientist. I'll put a link to that too, on dyeing my own yarn. And I wanted bright orange, which I can't seem to get. And someone suggested try dyeing the blanket white yarn or the blanket yarn orange. So I got the white yarn. I only did a small amount, and I dyed it and it looked really orange till I rinsed it, and all the dye washed out of it except for a little bit, and it came out this yellow. And because I only used a small bit, I thought, well, I'll use that up and make a little octo with it so it doesn't go to waste, and I'll sell that on my store. The octo tutorial is by Tammy Mompreneur. I really like this octo. I've said it before. Highly recommend this tutorial. It's all made in one, and it's just brilliant, and it whips up really quick. And I used up my lemony yarn that I dyed. That should have been orange. So work's been really busy because I have my big annual general meeting next week, and my breaks have been a bit short, but I still take a break. I make sure I take a break to keep clear my head. And one of the things I did sell a lot last November and December market was scrunchies. Now, little girls come around, they're looking for reasonably priced gifts for their school friends, and they always have more than one friend. So I did up packs of scrunchies, 3 scrunchies for $5, and I did them up as a little gift pack. They were popular, and I had individual scrunchies at $2 each. And I always have scraps of yarn or yarn I can't find use for, and I decided I'd make scrunchies. So the velvet yarn that I was trying, I made more scrunchies. So you can see I'll make smaller ones and bigger ones, because I get little girls looking for scrunchies too, or mums looking for their little girls. And it all depends on the hair tie as to, oh, I've got an end there I need to cut off. I've missed. I have to do that. And yes, so I made purple, black, and they're all velvet. And this one, I really like the color. So I made a bigger one and a smaller one, and then a beige one, because it's weird. I'll get asked for the neutralist of colors. I always think, oh, little girls want bright ones. No, I know for a fact Emma likes black, my friend Emma. So there you go. I made 5 scrunchies, 5 days at work, 1 in each break. And they do whip up quick, and they are an ideal break project when you've got to just make sure you've got a bit of yarn, a hair tie, and the right crochet hook. I generally use a 3mm for this really fine velvet yarn, or 3.5, and I've got it with me in my bag. So yes, scrunchies. I plan to make a few more. I did an inventory count recently, and I have about 16, and another 5 makes 21. I do know a lady who has a market. She doesn't attend the same market as me. She sold 40 one market. It is a much bigger market that she goes to. I don't know if I'll have that many, and I don't know if I'll ever sell that many, but it is handy to have on hand for little gifts for little people to buy. Also, if someone spends a lot of money or they buy a beanie from me and they've got long hair, I'll give them a scrunchie as a freebie, because it's always good PR and it's always nice to pay it forward with a bit of kindness. Especially here when everyone's suffering economically. We rely way too much on tourism, and I've said that before. So what else have I got planned? Not a lot. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I really did in July other than the other videos. And make sure you check out all the videos and give them a thumbs up. YouTube are saying there are too many channels, and they are starting to, what do they call it? Demonetize, derail, get rid of. So yes, I'd like to keep mine going. I do enjoy doing it, and I like talking to the people. I've met people personally, and I love it, and I love the comments. So make sure you comment and let me know, especially if you know of a blanket or throw pattern for 3-weight DK 8-ply yarn that I should try. Something easy. I can do at night. It doesn't matter if it's a 1-row repeat or a 3-row repeat, and it's repetitive, but it looks pretty when it's finished. I really can't. There was something else. I'll just pause the video. It won't be a moment. No, check my notes. Can't think of anything else. So don't forget, I'll put some pictures at the end of my Luck of the Draw 11 and the hats that I've made, especially the Bod Hattapaloozas. If you're interested in doing beanies or have some yarn you want to check, go over and check out Mad Mimi's Farming and Crochet for Bod Hattapalooza. If you want to make a throw, August the 7th, Mama Swift will launch Luck of the Draw 12. I just remembered what it was. I've been getting organised for Gary at Urban Yarns Mood Board Summer Cal that has started, and I can't wait. I picked a pattern. I picked the yarn. Actually, I picked 2 patterns I've learned. With the mood board mouths, I really step out of my comfort zone. I try something totally challenging for me, and sometimes I may not get it finished in time, so I pick one that's harder and one that's easier. The one I'd really like to make is going to be quite difficult, but I'm going to give it a go. The other one I have made before, and I made notes on how I could improve it for me. I believe the mood board mal is about motifs, so if you like making granny squares with motifs, feel free to join in. I like making squares. I don't like joining them. I've said that before too. But yes, have a go. Come and join us for the mood board mal with Gary. Check out Bod Hattapalooza every week. You never know, there might be a beanie that just really inspires you. And I'm sure Luck of the Draw 12 will inspire you, especially if you're planning on making Boggy Creek blankets, or like me, you make throws and blankets for charity. Until next time, stay safe, stay well, and have a go with Luck of the Draw. It is fun. I really do enjoy it, considering how many I've done. I just need a pattern now for 12, Luck of the Draw 12. Bye for now.